Welcome to Anxious at Bedtime.
Is this us actually starting or no?
Oh no, I'm Cash.
I'm Monica.
And this is Anxious at Bedtime.
Thank you for joining us. We are 2/3 of your co-hosts. My name is Monica.
I'm Cash.
We already did that.
Oh yeah.
This is a weird episode. I don't know if you can tell. Nova, unfortunately, is not able to join us tonight, but she will be back next week. And it's just been a crazy time in the Anxious at Bedtime podcast world. Sorry once again for missing an episode last week. We had to make a quick trip to Oregon, and it kind of threw all of our plans out the window.
Not our plans. It just kind of threw a wrench in the mix, kind of flipped our mix, made it different than our normal week. So
Yeah, which made it hard to record.
impossible, some would say. I am some.
But we are back today, and I'm not going to promise that we will be back every Thursday anymore because it seems like every time I say that, we have to miss a week. And
So we'll be back some weeks,
Yeah.
Most weeks. Shit'll be dropping.
we'll see you when we see you.
I mean, preferably not seeing a lot of people from the podcast. I don't know who they are. They just pop up and eventually, maybe one day, let's cut this whole part.
No, because that brings
I'm
up...
like, no, I don't ever want to see our...
No.
That's half our family.
Listen. Because that brings up something I was thinking deeply about earlier today. I don't think we can ever allow this podcast to become the type of podcast that's like popular. Because I am so awkward running into people I know in public, let alone random strangers in public. Could you imagine running into somebody that listens to our podcast and they're like, oh my gosh, it's you guys. I'm such a fan. You saw how my brain completely short-circuited the other day when that guy asked about the turkey roaster that we were buying.
Yeah, I did.
Could you imagine? They'd get on Facebook or something later and be like, so I'm pretty sure I met the co-host of Anxious at Bedtime podcast and I think she mooed at me. Like,
Pretty sure that bitch is like 26 and she screamed, I need an adult, and ran. It was wild.
anyway, this has already gone off the rails, so it's not going to get much better. So if you don't enjoy chaotic, we'll see you next week, maybe.
It'll probably be chaotic then too. I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of us. But we don't really have a topic for this week. I mean, we do. Well, I'll get there. But it's not... This is just going to be a discussion episode. No research has been done.
Yeah, we're not reading nothing. I mean, she might read. I don't know how. But it's not like prepared, kind of like there's no deepness to it. It's just exploratory.
Off the cuff. So let us know if you enjoy this format because maybe we'll do it again. I don't know. First, I wanted to start with some weird things we've experienced in our absence.
What have we experienced?
Well, so what I like to do so that I don't forget our ghost things now is I write down in my notes app just little quick captions so I can remember later. They never make sense to me. The first one is water aliens equals no probe, can't swim. Do you remember what that one is?
Yeah, water aliens equal no probe, can't swim. So pretty sure we were talking about the aliens coming from the ocean.
Oh, yeah, I remember that conversation. And I remember what we were talking about with that is I'm team probe. Your team no probe, right?
Absolutely no probe.
But if aliens are solely in the water and not in the sky, I can't swim. So that might change my answer to team no probe.
Yeah. Who like anybody else changing sides now that aliens are in the water and they're just popping up through your fucking toilets and probing you like fish in your butthole? Now it seems invasive, huh?
Yeah, that's weird.
But when they're from the sky, you're like, fuck it, he's a doctor, honey.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm just scared of water, but if they could like give me gills for the day or something, or like teach me to swim.
Like we're abducting people and we're fucking drowning them until they're about to die, and then we give them a little air.
What if?
What do you mean? Of course they're gonna keep you alive a little bit at least. What else is the probe for?
No, I was gonna say, what if there's no sirens or mermaids or anything, and it's just always been aliens?
Oh, What if there are mermaids and sirens, and it's really just aliens that bang fish, or some of that exploratory genetic got out in the water and fermented with some of that caviar that you remember before Nemo was actually hatched?
Yeah.
Like all those fucking eggs went floating away and got eaten. The eggs that floated into the Sasuke, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Area 51 in the water. spread like spores, dog, and you got sirens and mermaids.
Ew.
And that's why the government's like, fuck these things.
Do you think there is an Area 51 in the water?
They call it Area 1.
Area 1. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Next, I just wrote Jeepers Creepers.
That is a swell movie.
Do you remember why I wrote that?
Ooh, we both love that movie, and you probably wanted to discuss it further.
No, we saw something when we were driving home.
Ooh, I see a lot of things. This is what I'm saying. You got to put a little bit more. Jeepers Creepers, like what?
I remember saying, I'm just writing Jeepers Creepers. You'll remember what that means? And you're like, yeah. But I don't remember.
Don't fucking trust that.
Did
when
we pass?
has that ever led you to the green grass?
Did we pass a Jeepers Creepers van?
Or bus? I don't know.
Bus?
I was driving. I was focused on the road.
Next up, ghost pushing buttons on TV remote. Do you remember that?
I can't say that I do.
Oh man, we have the worst memory. I think it was in the hotel. We were trying to watch TV and something kept pushing buttons. Or it was at Gmaw's.
I'm pretty sure it was at the hotel. The shit kept changing channels or some shit.
Yeah.
Or the volume. I don't know.
It might have been the volume.
I think it kept turning it back to the same fucking game I was watching.
Yeah.
Like when I'd walk out of the room and put it back on like the fucking other college game.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
And then, of course, we experienced a lot more, but I want to save most of it for a Klamath Falls, Oregon episode. So we'll come back to that. And if you guys have ever been through Klamath Falls or heard of it, even if you've never heard of it and you're interested in hearing about potentially an entire town being cursed, come back. Keep an eye out for that episode.
I fucking bet it is.
Mm-hmm. But one thing I wanted to talk about this week, what would you come back as to haunt people?
Excuse me?
What would you come back as to haunt people?
Do you mean if I was to pass on?
Yeah.
If I could choose what I would reincarnate as?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a weird way to phrase it. You're like, what are you going to come back as? Like after you murder me?
Well, no.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
No.
I've seen this TikTok.
No, but like in 100 years, you know, you want to come back to your old house or to Arrowhead Stadium and you want to haunt people. What are you going to be?
Well, I've never really thought about that.
Yeah, me either.
I feel like you have.
I've thought a little bit, but I haven't come up with anything I want to be. Because, you know, some people are ladybugs. Some people are owls. I've heard of robins a lot. But no, all I know is I'd want to be something weird. Like I wouldn't want to be a bumblebee, because those are everywhere. I'd probably want to be something scary so I could freak people out.
I'm going to tell you, just knowing myself and how I enjoy things nowadays, it would probably be like another human. I like the modern amenities and the opposable thumbs and the free will for the most part, you know? Like, there's a lot of fucking cool shit with this.
Yeah.
Either that or a shark. Or maybe a fucking alien, dude. If you could do that, I'd be like, what is this about, dude? How do I fucking fuck with the Earthians?
Yeah, that's a game
do?
changer.
Probably an alien. I'm going there.
Yeah.
Maybe a ghost.
That's another question. I hear that one as
You have to choose to be a ghost?
No.
As an experience?
No. Oh, well, maybe.
I thought it was like a reincarnation.
I wasn't even trying to go that deep.
Oh, my bad.
I was just going to say on the Morbid podcast, when they have guests, they ask the question, what type of ghost would you want to be? Like, would you show up as a Victorian ghost? Your typical chic ghost?
Do you think there's fucking emo ghosts out there then?
Oh my god, I want to be an emo ghost.
Every time you walk into a room and turn on the light, they're like all mad. That's goth.
That's goth.
Either way, you think those are things? Nobody's really depicted that in a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yeah, no, I want to be an emo ghost. With the like, oh, what is it? Like 2012 giant hair.
Fucked up your whole plan for the afterlife with that thought.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's my plan. I want to be an emo ghost.
I think I just want to be a floating ghost.
Well, they all float.
No, we've seen some where they have to walk and shit. I'd be like, fuck that, dog. And just float everywhere.
That's fair.
That'd be one of those ones. How would I dress? How, like in the complete afterlife? Like, does that depend on how you're buried or cremated? Like, you're fine. What dictates that? Or do you like pick that shit out like an emoji?
It depends on the show you watch.
So, I mean, in this theory.
Let's say you get to pick your own outfit.
Like an emoji?
Like an emoji, sure. You mean a Bitmoji? You dress it?
Yeah, Bitmoji, that one.
But that's hard because...
Yeah, it's hard because I'd be asshole naked.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say I change my Bitmoji like every week. I couldn't imagine picking one outfit. Maybe people just don't like picking their outfits, or ghosts don't like picking their outfits that often, but I would.
Yeah, see, I fucking have the best of both worlds. Asshole naked, I float, so anytime anybody ever sees me, I'm just fucking floating behind a t-shirt and some drawers or some pants or something. Like I'm fucking, well, abs. Do I get to choose if I'm still fat in the afterlife or
Oh
if I
my
got
gosh.
abs?
We're moving on.
I need to know this.
Um,
Do I get to pick that? Or do I end the life, like, do I go into the afterlife in the same physical form I have now?
I think it would depend what type of ghost you pick. Because if you pick your basic sheet ghost, you don't have a body.
But you would have to choose to wear a sheet over your head, right?
No.
Then how the fuck would you show up as a sheet ghost?
You just morph into it. How do you show up as a ladybug? You put a ladybug costume on?
No, you reincarnate as a ladybug. That's what I'm saying. So a
Mm.
sheet ghost, you reincarnate as a ghost, but you choose the clothing of a sheet over you, right?
I guess. I don't know.
You just don't like to think that there's a body under that fucking sheet.
No, I don't.
Okay, my bad. So I really fucked up your afterlife, and I'm so apologetic.
Huh.
But I think out of that, we just got a full episode. So...
Yeah, I'm stumped. I've got nothing to add.
Yeah, see, I thought you were going to go in the realm of, like, you die and you still have the body that you die with. Like, I guarantee 99% of the ghosts that you see depicted in movies and television and even just, like, art, those guys didn't choose to die and be like, fuck, make me gross. Like, hey, make sure I got this nasty-ass outfit on and I still look like I just got murdered. Like, I'm sure they don't want to choose that for their afterlife. They would have chose something that they enjoyed wearing.
Maybe.
But in the theory that I could, and I still have to go in the afterlife with the same body, but I can choose my clothes like a Bitmoji, I changed my answer, and I'm definitely wearing pants.
Yeah.
What if I so happen to show up, like, I'm summoned or some shit, and there ain't no pants around?
Oh
like
my gosh, with like a Ouija board, and you're just like, oh my gosh. I'm regretting not having a outline for this
I
episode.
get fucking summoned to the fucking White House, and I gotta show them my Lincoln log?
What?
Woo! Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna wear some pants in the afterlife, guys.
Pants. And that makes me, are they wearing clothes under the sheet? I don't want to raw dog a sheet.
Hold on, what do you mean? Like, you think this is one of your real sheets that you buy at the store they fucking use, and then they're like, you know what, I'm gonna change, and they were naked under it, so they return it, and you're buying ghost-worn sheets?
No, that's not
Okay,
what I meant.
One more time, raw dog, what do you
I
mean
meant,
by this
so
one?
like, if a sheet ghost floated over your head, could you look up and be like, oh my god,
Let it dangle.
let it dangle? Or,
No, so it's encased in all just that sheet, right?
okay,
Unless
so
you're doing
you don't
like
see
a 3D
anything.
imagery. I guess you could have the best of both worlds. Like, if you wanted to be that ghost that's like, hey, dude, I'm gonna fucking float above somebody and show my
I don't.
like, you get to choose that outfit.
I don't. That's
It's
why I'm
your
asking.
afterlife.
Because it'll change my outfit.
So you don't have to choose to have the fucking open bottom. You can choose to be like one of the printed or like the fucking toys that has the bottom totally encased in white, like part of the sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like somebody's fucking used ghost sheet that was all over their naked ass.
No. But okay, so that's my answer. I want to be a sheet ghost, but I want like...
An emo sheet ghost. It's going to be black.
Yeah.
She's
No.
gonna have oh.
I want it white, covered in tattoos, with the like scene emo hair, purple streaks, and blacked out eyes. Like just all the eyeliner.
So again, are you allowed to fucking change in the afterlife?
Yeah, because I know I'd want to change after like a month. We're talking about this too much. This was supposed to just be a conversation starter. Anyway, to the bit that I did have planned for this episode, we're talking about aliens. So we are recording this on the night of December 3rd.
On the eve of the 4th.
The reason that that's important is because apparently, I literally just found out last night, but on December 3rd, there was supposed to be this... Let's take it back first. So
right.
In the 90s...
I was around.
I don't remember the guy's name, but somebody invented this machine or this technology that was supposed to like search through the internet to be able to predict stock market like raises and declines.
Yeah.
And then of course eventually with technology growing bigger, better, the guy that started it said that it started to be able to predict events and things that were to come. In 2009, it predicted that in the year 2024, Donald J. Trump would go on a podcast with Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan's podcast, and that Donald would be president when it happened. And then I think the exact number is 39 days later, like him being on the podcast would be the trigger. So 39 days after he went on the podcast, which is today, aliens would visit Earth and there would be this giant, like, intergalactic war between aliens, the government, UFOs on UFOs. Like, it's supposed to be this whole thing. And that we're supposed to be able to see some of it. It didn't specify where you would be able to see it because obviously with like time change or time zones, you're not going to be able to see it all at the same time.
In the hemisphere of the Earth and whatnot.
Yeah. So...
Is that why South Korea just enacted martial law and shit? They were like, oh, fuck, these aliens are here.
I was wondering that.
They're trying to fucking save their citizens and they're trying to blame it on some bullshit politics. So
it's being very heavily debated on if this is true or not. Because from what I've seen, like I said, I've done no research on this at all. This is completely on the fly. But from what I've seen, they can't find the proof that this was said in 2009. It just somehow came up that it was said in 2009.
Somebody was like, bet it happened. Bet that thing said it.
Maybe.
Bet. Let me see an episode of The Simpsons, homie.
But if it did happen, it's very weird because in 2009, obviously nobody was thinking that Donald Trump was going to be president. He was you're fired guy. Nobody was thinking that, first of all, nobody really knew what podcasts were. Second of all, nobody was thinking that Joe Rogan would be on one, let alone having Donald Trump as a guest.
Or having his own.
He was just the fear factor guy back then.
Fucking making people eat maggots and shit.
Yeah. But so already just with that, that's a lot of weird stuff. The one thing that doesn't line up for me is it said Donald Trump would be president. Obviously, he's not right now.
He's elect, yeah, so that's off.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because he didn't become president in 2020. It doesn't happen.
Maybe. I was wondering that. Like, did, the stars align just right to save us from this alien war? I don't know. But it is so weird to me that just the whole idea, like that somebody even would be like, there's this thing that's going to happen, and exactly this many days later, this is going to happen. And so last night, like, everybody was like, oh gosh, like, sorry, I feel like I've said like a billion times, but everybody was talking about where can we see it? What time is it going to be? Should I call into work? Like,
hell yeah, it's like it was planned and shit. They're like, bike rack, 2:00, be there, bitch. Like, and they're like, fuck, dude, do I call into work?
Yeah, something. I don't know. It kind of reminds me a little bit of December 21st, 2012, where everybody was on high alert, holding their breath, but then nothing came of it. Obviously, where we are right now, at the time of recording, it's 8 p.m. We haven't seen anything. We haven't heard anything. But, have you?
No, there was just that TikTok I came across earlier where they were the dude was talking about a bunch of booms and shit. And, where was that?
Idaho.
Oh, eastern Idaho, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over by, like, some R place. Roger.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Roger.
Nope.
No?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. All that really comes up when I search it is Twin Falls.
Rigby.
That is not Roger.
No, I just knew it started with an R. That's why I said don't agree with that.
But no, when I saw an article last night, it was like all of southern Idaho. But besides that, well, no, hold on. We didn't even explain that very well. A ton of people in Idaho have reported hearing really loud, almost like sonic booms, and nobody can figure out where it's coming from.
And they can feel their fucking houses and windows and doors and shit shaking.
Yeah, nobody knows where it's coming from, what it is, what's causing it.
A lot of the people that have reported about it have been shut up.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
No, that's what the guy was saying earlier. I didn't see when it was posted, though.
That does bring up the fact that within this past week or two, a ton of people have reported lots of UFO sightings. If you go on TikTok, you'll be flooded with different UFO sightings.
UAPs.
All of that. It makes me wonder, like, are they here?
Nope. Trump was not president yet, so they're chilling.
That's the thing, though. Would we even actually know if they did come?
I mean, by the way they make it sound, yeah.
I don't know.
If it's an intergalactic war, I don't think they'd be able to hide that. In our skies, nah. Especially with everybody on high alert thinking they're seeing shit anyways. They'd definitely be a lot more tuned in with actually seeing shit out there.
That's fair.
Like, that for sure was a fucking UAP blown up. And that for sure is an American pilot. That for sure is a Chinese jet. Like, you remember when they saw that fucking Chinese mystery balloon? They didn't even know it was from fucking China, but they saw it and said, that's China.
That's fair. So we probably would for sure know if something was happening. Like I
think so.
said, I haven't seen any news articles or anything like that about anything weird today specifically, but there has been a ton over the past week. I find it interesting though, because one thing you and I have talked about a lot is how this year it seems like there are so many more sightings. People constantly are saying they saw weird lights or.
There's a lot of videos of people seeing weird shit too.
Yeah, which is so interesting because that's always the common complaint is why doesn't anybody ever get anything on video? And now we're being handed so much evidence of weird shit on a silver platter.
And it's like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
For the most part. Like some people care. Some people find it interesting. They're like us.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, cool, maybe. And then there's a lot of people that are like, oh, that's still fake. Which, maybe.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. There's been so many videos that you know my logic. If there's so many reports, at least one has to be real.
I'm saying if there's so many people coming forth from the government that
Mm-hmm.
are off of their NDAs, and there's so many people reporting that they don't know what the fuck it is, whether it's alien or not, it's alien to us, it's foreign, we don't know what the fuck it is, and none of the world's governments can figure it out. Like, it's pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they admit that shit exists, and it's multiple nations saying, hey, that shit exists. Like, there's something going on, player, but everyone's just kind of numb to it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird. Do you think with the government recently releasing that aliens are in the water, do you think that was a plan to get us looking down instead of up for this upcoming thing, or do you think it's all coincidence?
Don't look up. Isn't that the movie they fucking made too?
Yeah.
Where they were talking about the aliens in the sky?
Yeah.
That might be the ploy. That might be the game, player. You may have just fuck.
What?
Turn on the ring. Make sure nobody's coming.
No, but I think the timing is definitely interesting because it was within the past month that they released that, right?
I mean, it's the same group of whistleblowers and stuff. They're saying that it's all unidentified. It's stuff coming from under the ground too, or in the oceans and shit. I mean, I think it's all pretty strange, and I think that they should let it all out. Just tell everybody what's going on.
I'm dying to know everything, but I can't lie.
Like, nobody in the government's even came out and been like, those fucking guys are lying or nothing. They haven't, like, tried to discredit them. They're like, you fucking testify, you say whatever, guys. And they stay quiet. Like, maybe they don't want to give it as much attention, like, act like it's more than what it is.
Maybe.
Or maybe they want to take away some of it. I don't know what it is, but at some point, they got to fucking respond by saying, fucking liars, or like, here it is.
Something. I would love if they just said, well, that's not true, but here's what is true. Something like that. Oh, but what I was going to say is I've been obsessed with aliens since I was a little kid. Something about it has always intrigued me so much. I was obsessed with Roswell and X-Files, and I just always wanted to know if aliens are real. So my like little 10-year-old Monica's heart in here is just freaking bursting with excitement right now over all of this.
There's another theory. You remember how they said after World War II, after the U.S. stormed Germany and started going after Hitler, they also took a lot of scientists from Hitler's regime, and then they said some fled to Brazil and some got away, this and that. What if it's all those fuckers? They figured out how to disappear because there's a lot of them that were untracked, nobody could find. They were brilliant fucking minds creating all these crazy rocket ships and shit that they were doing, all these crazy projects, right? Even the ones that America took back. There was documentaries about the scientists, like what they came up with for UAPs, different saucers that they made in the U.S. What if these fuckers, some of them got out, maybe some of those other guys met up, they created all these fucking people, those are the water aliens, they found a way to fucking get away, to burrow deep, and now they're trying to go get, DoorDash. Something of the sort, I don't know.
That would be insane.
Like, honestly, what if that's why the government's unwilling to admit, like, as a whole, it's the people that have, like, their NDAs are up, the people that have left the government, their contracts have expired, whatever, and they decide to be the whistleblowers and talk about it, and government officials are like, fuck those guys, we're not responding about this. That's fucking, those are Nazi soldiers fucking creations. That's why we're not talking about it. It's our bad. We released these people. We let them get away, whatever, and that's what we're trying to combat now. Maybe that's why they're not saying some shit, and that's why everything's so classified, and, all the documents that they do release, 90% of it is all blacked out and you can't read it. Because they're like, oh, fuck, our bad. That could That could be it, and it couldn't be. Maybe it's not aliens. I'm still hopeful and wishing there's aliens. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
That's a different theory.
Yeah, that would be wild. I'm not saying I couldn't see that being the reason for it.
I'm glad that made logical sense as I explained it, because I felt like it wasn't.
No, I understood you.
And I didn't read that off the internet.
No. We should have started this episode by saying, sit down, grab your tinfoil hats.
Oh, yeah. If you got tinfoil, let me teach you how to make a hat. That's not real. But you might want your tinfoil hats for this episode.
Yeah. All of that to say, we have no idea what's going on.
It's pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen no battle royale in our skies yet. So
No.
If we got listeners past the PNW, even our listeners in the PNW, we're pretty tight knit with. We talk to all the time, so you guys can holler at your boy and holler at your girl. Let us know if you guys see some shit in the sky. Send some videos. What's up, player? If not, if we got people that listen that aren't in the PNW and you guys see some shit, send it to the email. Send it to our Instagram. Send it to us on TikTok, wherever you follow us, wherever you like, subscribe, whatever. Even if you don't, Anxious at Bedtime podcast.
Yeah.
It's pretty universal in all of it. Anxious at Bedtime.
Yeah.
On Instagram and TikTok. Anxious at Bedtime podcast at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Those are our socials and links to send that shit, dude. Let us know.
Before we do go,
prior to our departure,
we did get a personal encounter from somebody on social media. Should I tell you about it?
Hell yeah, that's dope. Let's go.
Back in the 90s, this person was traveling home with a friend at 3 a.m. They started getting tired, and so they switched with somebody that was with them. So the passenger started driving. They were taking a break in the passenger seat, and they were just watching out the window. And it's dark, it's 3 a.m. and nobody's around. And they saw a shooting star, and they took note, like, oh, that's cool. It's a shooting star, it's pretty. And then the shooting star stopped and threw it in reverse.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And the person was like, for a second, I thought I was sleeping, maybe dreaming. But the person that was driving was like, did you just see that?
That's fucked up, dude.
Isn't that crazy? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Especially because just seeing a shooting star in general, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a shooting star. Like, that's cool. Make your wish. What are you wishing? And then to see it, never mind.
Yeah, and if you try to rationalize it, even with like a satellite or a ship or a plane, any of that shit don't go backwards very fast at all.
No.
Especially like if you're thinking in terms of a shooting star that doesn't slowly, go across your line of sight. It's pretty quick for it to go, never mind, backwards.
But so if you see anything like that tonight in the sky, please tell us.
Yeah, if you see a fucking alien start flying at one of our ships and back it out chicken shit like that, you fucking tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see it's one of our planes, you fucking tell us in silence. I want to think we're winning. I still want to know, though. No, tell me the truth.
Do we really want to win?
No, I just want to know.
Yeah, I just want to know.
Well, I don't want to fucking lose. I don't like being a loser. So, there's that.
Yeah, I don't know. But like Cash said, if you have ever in the past seen an alien or UFO or UAP, let us know. If you see one on December 3rd, please let us know. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Threads. That's brand new, but we have a lot of fun over there. It's very different content than everything else.
The world can be a scary place with ghosts that are randomly just fucking naked for no reason. And, things in the sky fighting the booms and the alien invasion and the galactic wars that you can't even know about unless you tell us on our podcast. All right. We're probably fine, though.
We're probably fine.
We are probably fine.
Sleep tight.
Sleep tight.